What's up? This is your homie Tezavelli, aka uh, Tezaroaster, aka the Tesness Monster, aka your sister's side dude that she don't want you to know about because he has so much sauce. Yeah. Anyway, this is one of your favorite segments. I know it is. I read your mind. It is your Bay of the Week. Yeah, y'all like that, didn't y'all? I sounded so smooth and silky when I sang that. I sounded like an angel from heaven. You know when you realize you missed a note completely, where you're like, oh man, I know that came out horrible. I think that's how I felt just a second ago. I knew that was a bad note. Anyway, um, if you've been checking out Freeform, you know that every now and then we have a segment called Bay of the Week, which this is probably the fourth one, I think, fourth or fifth one. We're gonna have to start numbering this. I might have to hit up Fee and tell him, make sure you number these Bays of the Week. But yeah, if you're remotely familiar with Bay of the Week, we honor talented, intelligent women. And of course, this segment is, no different. We have Issa Rae, the very talented, beautiful Issa Rae. I definitely had to put beautiful in front of that because Issa Rae is very beautiful. Chocolate goddess, chocolate Nubian queen goddess, person, lady. But anyway, Issa Rae, she's the star of Insecure. She also directs, writes, produces, and she's created multiple web series. I can't talk right now. Multiple web series. I know she has a hand in writing, and of course she acts in Insecure, but I'm not sure if she directs any episodes. And I think she has a co-producing credit. I believe so. But anyway, I guess to start out, like how I first found out about Issa Rae was I was watching YouTube one day, and I was just going through different videos, and I saw something that said Misadventures of an Awkward Black Girl, and I kind of clicked on the video, and then I paused it, and then sometimes I'm like real anal about doing this. I'll check out the comments just to see like what the consensus is of if people like it or if people are like trashing it. Just curious, and a lot of times it's funny as hell, so I always check that out. But I was reading the comments, and they're like, oh my god, this is black girl magic, hashtag black girl magic, or I think that was around the time the term black girl magic started really becoming a thing. But this is black girl magic, this is so dope. I can relate to this. I can relate to Issa's character so much. And there's a lot of black women. Every now and then I think I saw like a black dude comment on the show and be like, oh, this is a dope show, it's a cool show, yeah, etc. And I was like, okay, let me check this shit out. I kind of was like, I was a little cynical towards it because I was like, okay, I hope it's not a show that's like super stereotypical and I can't relate to it, because I feel like I'm at best I like Henny hates when I say this term, but I kind of feel like I'm an Oreo a little bit about certain stuff. I'm straight vanilla on the inside about certain stuff. But but I'm really black, like pro black, Malcolm, into reading about Malcolm, reading about Marcus Garvey and Pan-Africanism and all that shit. But anyway, I just like hate watching something just for the sake that it's black. So, I kind of was like leery of it, but then I was like, okay, Misadventures of an Awkward Black Girl. Interesting title, so I'll give it a shot. I watched it. I watched the first episode, and I think like the beginning of it was her rapping about like, I think she either broke up with a guy or there was a guy that she was into that it kind of didn't go anywhere. I think that was the first episode. But she wrote like an angry rap about him, and she does it in Insecure too. She I think she like writes angry raps. I believe so. But she rapped like an angry rap about a guy that she was interested in, and I thought that was like the funniest thing. Like it's such a human thing to like harp over somebody, and then the twist of her writing a rap about it is funny as hell. And I just enjoyed like the observational humor and the quirkiness of Issa Rae's, the type of humor that she did, and the kind of like universal appeal of the characters. Like of course Issa Rae's character being awkward as hell, and kind of never really knowing the right thing to say at the right time. And I could totally relate to that, because at times I kind of stumble through sentences or am caught off guard, and I'm like, I really don't know what to say. I feel uncomfortable. Can you help me, please, God? Why is this happening to me? And, everybody gets caught up in stuff like that. Even the coolest, suave Stefan Urkel type cat gets caught up in, that. It's funny that that's the first like epitome of cool person I can think of, Stefan Urkel. Okay, yeah, I'm pretty lame for saying that, right? Anyway, going back to the show, she had like very interesting characters. I know one guy like I could that I know of in, not necessarily in real life, but I've been around people that did this. There was a character that he would when he talked, he would like whisper. He would say, Issa would say, "Hey, I think, I don't know if his name was Darnell, but it might have been something close to that. It's something like generically black name." And he was like, "Hey, Darnell, what do you think about this?" And he was like, and she was like, "Huh? What'd you say?" And he was like, he was like, what? Yeah, I know, right?" And then he'd be like, "What? That's not." You kind of look at her like, "That's not what I said at all. It wasn't anything funny. Why are you laughing?" And it was just like that was a funny character. And then there was a guy that like had a crush on Issa. They went to a party, I think a coworker's party. It might have been an employee party. I think no, it was a coworker's party. My bad. It was a coworker's party, and Issa was kind of like still a little distraught from the guy that she was interested in not reciprocating her feelings, and then she was like, drinking up a storm and dancing, and then the guy that had a crush on her, he ended up drinking a lot and started dancing with her, and she ended up having like super beer goggles. It was like the funniest thing in the world, and was checking him out, and like he had this like, he was a nerdy guy. He's like super nerdy. Like, well, not, he was geeky. Okay, there's nerdy. Nerdy is like somebody that's into, like, somebody that is very knowledgeable about certain maybe not knowledgeable about anime, comics. Shout out to Henny and Phenom, because that's their thing. And I'm kind of a little whatever in those categories, but you can be knowledgeable about that, and people will consider you nerdy when it comes to those categories. He was geeky, and geeky to me is like more of an attire, like you wear like thick big glasses like a Steve Urkel, or you may wear like really untrendy clothes, I guess is the best way to put it. And not even knocking anybody that's geeky, because there's a lot of dope geeky people out there. I feel like a lot of like scientists and inventors, and a lot of them are geeky, but they're great at what they do, and hopefully they're confident in what they do. Because if you're like contributing to like the science and the technological fields of the world, you should feel confident. You should be like, yo, I'm the ish, because I am progressing society. I am progressing science. I am progressing, the things that are keeping this planet existing, essentially. But anyway, yeah, he's like super. That character was like super geeky, and then he was drunk, of course, and Issa was drunk, and they started making out. They ended up, having sex. And the next day, he's still like smitten over her, and she's kind of like, did I have sex with the geeky guy? I don't really like him, and he's giving me the Pepe Le Pew, vibe, and I'm just not feeling it. And she was like super. She curved him like every other episode. That was mad funny. But anyway, that's kind of how I got introduced to Issa. I watched her show for like 6 years. Well, not 6 years, but I watched her show, I think that was like maybe 5 or 6 years ago. Close to 5, probably. Or maybe more close to 4, actually. But, I was watching her, and I was like in the earlier stages. I think I might have started watching like tail end of the first season. But anyway, as the show progressed, it got to season 2, and then I think when I first started watching, that's when she had already signed on with I Am Other, which is like a Pharrell founded company. I don't know if he still had, if that's still an active company, but that was his company at the time, and they were, kind of putting out original content, mostly, or all of it that I saw was like African American content, like like black people starring in the shows. But anyway, a little bit about Issa, just giving y'all my introduction to Issa Rae. Of course, she starred in Insecure. She stars in Insecure. She also directs, writes, acts, produces, and she creates original web content. Insecure was actually based off of like her experiences. She lived in Maryland and went to a predominantly white school, and she felt like she was too black for the white people there. And then I want to say after that's when she moved to Senegal. But at one point she lived in Senegal. Her father's Senegalese. He's a podiatrist. And she went from Senegal to LA, the LA area. And I remember watching an interview where she was talking about like she remembers the day Tupac died, and everybody was like crying and distraught and heartbroken because, of course in LA, Tupac, well, in rap period, Tupac is legendary. And in LA, of course, he was very well known, very beloved, and she didn't know anything about rap music in general, especially not Tupac. And then she walks up to like a group of kids, and they're like crying, like, oh, I can't believe Pac got killed. How could this happen? He's so dope, man. He's such a great rapper. And she walks up to the group of kids, and she's like, I heard Tupac died. That's so sad. And they're like, who in the hell is this Oreo that doesn't know how to pronounce Tupac's name? And I thought that was just a funny story that basically gives a great example of like how like I guess stereotypically black she was, that she didn't know Tupac. And then that's when she was talking about like how she started immersing herself in black culture and being more familiar with her, being more knowledgeable about African American culture. She ended up going to Stanford, which of course is a very prestigious college. She started out with the Misadventures of an Awkward Black Girl. Of course, that got picked up, but before it got picked up, she was already working on Ratchet Piece Theater. That's one of her shows. Milk and Honey came later. But there's another show. I can't think of the name of it. See, this is unprofessional. I didn't know. I don't know the name of one of the shows she came up with. But it was one where it was like a couple. There's a lot of shows that she has that deal with couples. But it was like a couple that hadn't seen each other in like 6 or 7 years. And then they ended up, I think one guy just stayed in the city that they were from. And then the woman, I think she got out of a relationship. She may have gotten divorced, and then she ended up moving back, and then they kind of reconnected, and that's how the story progresses from there, and they end up falling in love and stuff. And it was a pretty good show. But I know she does a lot of executive producing. She has her own production company which produces shows like Insecure, The Choir, The F Word, Ratchet Piece Theater, Milk and Honey, several other shows that I can't even think of. And I know she's part of it's that Matt Damon. Is it Matt Damon? He stars in it. He stars in the show where they basically they'll have a writer pitch them an idea. A filmmaker. Let me be more specific. A filmmaker or director that may have also written the project too, but they'll have them pitch Matt Damon, and there was somebody else. I don't know if Ben Affleck's involved in the show. I always like put Matt Damon and Ben Affleck together because of Good Will Hunting, and that's how they got their start. But anyway, they like the whatever director or filmmaker will pitch their idea to Matt Damon and cohorts, we'll say, to see if they'll pick up the idea. And I know Issa Rae is getting involved in that. I don't know if she's going to actually be on the show or what her role is going to be, but she's involved in that. She also has been picked up as a cover girl, which is dope. She's very beautiful, and also I think it's just a good look to have like a dark-skinned, black woman that is a great role model to all women, all girls in general. Because I don't know if they have a lot of dark-skinned black women for cover girl. I know they got Queen Latifah. Queen Latifah's, kind of a mocha complexion. No, they have Aisha Curry now too. Because I heard about Aisha Curry like right after I heard about Issa Rae becoming a cover girl. But definitely kudos to her when it comes to that, because that's a dope connection, or a dope company to work for, especially when you have like a lot of black women following you that look up to you, and they may be dark-skinned women that may not know the right makeup to use, or may not haven't mastered that, because I know a lot of times some of these makeup companies don't make makeup for black women as much. So shout out to y'all. Even though I feel completely out of my element talking about makeup, I gotta definitely shout out to Issa Rae for doing that. Let's see. Also, I think Issa Rae is just like a very great example of a DIY mentality to have, that I think any artist should have, because you're going to have obstacles. You're going to have companies that may say, well, we don't really see the potential in you. We don't see how your what you claim as a talent how it can help us. Or you may be talented, but we can't market you in a good way, so we're not going to pick you up. We're not going to like sign you as a actress or a director or a writer or whatever. So it's dope that Issa Rae just took it upon herself to put herself on to like direct, because I think she said when she first began the Misadventures of an Awkward Black Girl, she was directing, writing, producing, editing, acting. She was doing everything except holding the camera, which she would have to have the Mr. Fantastic arm to like stretch out, the Dawson arm to stretch out and like, yo, to pan the camera like that. And, you know, I'm going to film around the corner because I can stretch. But she would have to be like mad. She would have to be a mutant. She had to be like super mutant to do that. But, she took it upon herself to say, okay, I'm not getting the opportunities from Hollywood, so I'm going to create the opportunities. I have technology, I have the PC, and I can, write an idea, network with people. Because I watch her, she has like a behind the scenes of her production company. And she gives a lot of, she gives a lot of game without, I guess, saying, okay, I did this, I did this, I did this. It was basically like, well, at certain points in the I guess you could call it like the series of her of episodes, about her production behind the scenes of her production company. But there are times where she kind of does outline, okay, you need a business manager when you get to a certain tax bracket. You're going to need to network. You're going to need to be able to facilitate different responsibilities for different people in order to make your company, get your company cracking. And I think that's dope that she could, can elevate her talent, her talent, her skill setting. I just blanked out, but she can elevate her skill setting and also give other people opportunities. And there's like a networking company that she works with that kind of put her on, and it's like a Black Hollywood company where you can network with directors and writers and producers and actors and actresses. And it's just like a melting pot of different people from across the nation that are like in the LA area, and they're communicating with each other, and they're like, okay, you're doing this, what is this about? Okay, that sounds interesting. Take my card, or here's my contact, and we'll get together. And I think that's really dope, because that's something that I know my team Freeform, we're trying to get involved in, like definitely networking and doing things like that, and build our what we're doing. So it's definitely inspirational for me personally. Also, people like Donald Glover and just other artists that are like taking it upon themselves to like, put their stuff out, they put their material out there. And Donald Glover he's going about it the more conventional way of signing on to networks and getting like artistic kind of creative control type of contracts. But Issa kind of did the more unconventional way. And I'm proud of a lot of these cats that started out on YouTube, like Issa Rae, Timothy De La Ghetto, who else? It's somebody I was thinking about the other day, and they've gotten bigger. Dumbfounded, he started out on YouTube, but he's more on a musical side, specifically musical side. And, just people that have blown up on YouTube, and that took it upon themselves to like take their own destiny in their hands. And I'm just like, I have complete adoration for them for doing that. That's about it when it comes to the lovely Issa Rae. Just hit me up personally at Tez the Great at Mars Brooks. We got plenty of content coming, plenty more Bay of the Weeks. We're gonna highlight these lovely ladies that are super talented. And definitely check out the Freeform podcast episodes. We have a discussion, usually funny as hell, usually interesting, intriguing, sometimes heated. We get into like heated debates. And we need to start putting out like the behind the scenes footage of when we have discussions, because that should be like lit like a mug, like for real. Be like, oh man, are they gonna scrap? I know they gonna fight. Somebody gonna bite somebody, ain't they? Oh, I can't believe he said that. Oh man, the nerve of that dude. Okay, but but yeah, of course, it's my pleasure. I love the fact that we have 18 subscribers. We're going to get more. I know we will. We're going to build up Freeform and have it be like the most incredible podcast, and incredible like source of you getting your information, whether it be anime and comics, or whether it be just political discussions, relationship discussions. I know we're interested in doing stuff like that. You know, just check us out. We're here to serve you and give us feedback. Give me feedback on Bay of the Week. If you think I'm dry and I'm corny, holla at me. Or if you think I'm funny and dope and interesting and you like my perspective, holla at me too. I like that. I like compliments. Compliment me. Tell me my hair is looking wonderful, because I like that. All right. Tez out. Y'all have a beautifully blessed day. Peace. Freeform, baby.